You guys wanna come up on the front row, we're ready for you.
Okay.
How we doing?
Hi.
Yeah, good morning.
Paper for each of you. I was challenged writing up a 501c3, but it happened. Oops, sorry, I didn't know how many there were.
No, you're fine.
Tough. Multiply them up. But we started a 501c3 because we heard you guys had some tax money from the not drug, but beer and alcohol sales. And so I've got the bank account, and this is kind of what I wrote out for
Mhm.
what constitutes being in recovery, and what they need to do to receive help, and what their needs are,
Mhm.
and then what we need money for to be able to do that.
If you guys could remind me what, I remember coming in and then we were all, seemed like we were all kind of on board, but we didn't have any specific thing to give to, and now
Sure.
you've got a 501
Mhm.
Grace Walk. What was the request? The dollar figure, or was there a dollar
There was
figure
no
last
dollar
time?
figure
Okay.
attached to it.
No, and I didn't know I needed to make a request.
No,
I
and that's
just thought
fine,
I had
I
tax
was
money,
just,
so
yeah.
I didn't make a
Yeah,
request.
and that's okay, I was
It will.
just trying to remember. Lisa, do you know how much we have in?
Well, actually, what it would be is, you could just do an allocation like we do to our other entities, like EcoDevo, the Fair Board, the golf course. So that's up to you guys. And it would come from, we actually, I don't know, I can't get into it right now. We have that local alcohol fund that
Yeah.
we haven't done anything with. So that's where it would come from.
And that's from sales tax on alcohol,
Yes.
but you don't have any idea how much is there?
No, I don't, because like I said, I wasn't
Yeah.
planning on not being.
So
able
would
to
we
do
just make a one-time a year allocation out of that?
it. You could do that, or you could do it, set it up however you want. We could do it quarterly, we could do it half and half, we could do a one-time thing, however you guys want to structure it.
Yeah, what would be easiest for you guys as far as distribution of funds?
I don't think it really matters. I think if you want to do it like quarterly or something, and then say how we're doing, we need to be responsible to you guys, and we want to do that. Just take the whole thing at one time, that's not maybe the most, probably not the wisest to do.
Yeah,
It'll give us a chance to prove ourselves first. So we just, the other thing is, we've set up a bank account in Hudson Bank, so that's ready to go. So we tried to get all of our stuff kind of in order
yeah,
before we came back to you. I think we're there now. We're seeing a lot of needs throughout Stafford County. The addiction's not a problem. I wished I had more statistics to talk about this morning, and I don't, because I've been on the computer and been trying to find stuff, and I can't really find a lot of stuff. But one of the things that I did find, looking at the state, and there's a whole pack, and I'm not going to give it to you, but I can give you some other sheets that deal with the drug abuse statistics nationally. Then if you take those percentage into account, I think you'd have a better idea of what it might be here. And it's just, I'm not saying that it's, but I think it's kind of eye-opening. I don't know, and I went on the line and I tried to find something for Stafford County more specifically, and there's nothing there. The closest thing I found was something going back to 2005. Well, that's too far back to even be worth anything to guide us. So I gave up and went to the National Center. And that National Center at least gives you an idea of what we could, maybe on a percentage basis, be able to do. But we know that the problem is real here in Stafford County. I haven't been here I guess about 5.5 years now. But I can tell you there's a lot of addiction problems. We're seeing that in our addictions program every Thursday evening. How we deal with some of those issues is a big question. So I'm not going to just dominate the
No, you're
discussion
doing
this
fine,
morning.
you're doing great.
But I do know that in Stafford, when I was doing the interim pastoral duties there at the First Baptist Church of Stafford, one of the fellows that was a native of the community, and he understood the community and was working with the local food bank there. He said that in Stafford, there's in the 4 quadrants of the city, there's at least 7 to 8 drug houses. Well, take that times 4, and what have you got? You've got, well, 28 to 32 drug houses in Stafford. That froze my mind for a little while. But then you could go by and drive through, and you could pretty well pick it out by the side appearance of a lot of those homes. So we know we have some major problems. I think your enforcement people probably have more of the statistics that we don't have, and I couldn't find. But we know that it's a major problem. It's one that we're seeing and trying to be able to be of help to do something about it. So that's why we're here. And Leanne's worked up a pretty good sheet there that she distributed to you.
And I have our bylaws for the Grace Walk, if you'd like to have a copy of those.
Do you have any idea what your startup cost will be?
I don't, I just
Yeah.
need to get going and, well, what we really need to see is how many people are gonna respond
Right.
when they hear we actually have some help. But they'll have to do some things before, we can help them. They have to attend a meeting, and they have to be clean and sober.
So what kind of a structure do you guys have for deciding who gets the help? Say, I don't know, Jim Bob comes in and he's met your criteria, but he needs help with some dental work. Is there 2 or 3 of you guys or
Well, I
people
think-
that get together and decide, or is it just a one person decides?
I think what you're going to find is that the 12-step programs which are in place here, both in St. John and in Stafford, are going to be the ones that we're going to be really paying attention to, because those people that are involved in those, whether it be Shelley and Stafford, or whether it be Arjanette, or whether it be Teresa or Leanne, who does a lot of the teaching here in the program in St. John, I think they're going to have a pretty good handle on what the needs are, and we've already uncovered some of them. And it just blows us away. I have one now, and I'm going to give a name, but that 21 teeth pull, because his teeth were that far gone. He was just, and that gets to be a major medical expense for that. But he was able to get it done. And so we want to be of assistance, to help those people and encourage them. The other thing that we want to do, and we haven't been able to do up to this point, we would like to have separate meetings. You could start a meeting with the whole group. So we'd like to have one for men and one for women. And women's issues I can tell you, being involved in the Celebrate Recovery one out in Pawnee County, there are different issues involved between men and women, and keeping them separate, like the Celebrate Recovery program does, I think, a good program and guideline for it. So we're looking at that, but once we do that, then we have another problem. And that problem is that I hate to say it, but we're not a society today that volunteers. The volunteerism is dead today in this world. I never thought I'd live to see it. But even within the churches, finding volunteers to do something. What we're going to have, I think, if we get a women's group started, we're going to have some financial assistance to be able to pay 15 or 20 bucks an hour, whatever it takes to have those grandmas or moms available to take the kiddos and do something with the kiddos, because moms can't and dad can't fit them to a meeting on one night. Who's going to take care of the kids? And so that's going to be another issue that we'll be trying to address. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. I just wondered, why I'd ask if it was kind of how you guys would decide where to dispense the money. I mean, if Leanne's working with the St. John Group and somebody comes in and needs $3,000 worth of utility bills, can Leanne just write a check? Or do you guys get together and 3 or 4 of you discuss it out and talk about it?
Yeah, I think so, Todd, and I think the thing that...
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, and Wade and I and Leroy right now are the ones that are involved in this.
Okay.
And it'll have to be somebody that is showing us that they're clean and sober, they're attending meetings, and I have a history of being a drug and alcohol counselor.
Yeah.
And so I know how to give a UA, and if they can't give me a clean UA, we're not gonna help them. They've got to be clean for us to be able to help them.
Since it is basically county funds, do you think once a year, a guy could take this list of 6 deals for the needs? And basically, I know you can't give us people's names, but say you gave us $10,000, $1,000, or went to rides, $500
Oh,
went
yeah,
to food.
we'll keep categories for you.
And maybe give us an update once a year how the money's being spent.
Yeah, or even oftener if you want.
We might need
I
to do
mean,
that
would
more
once a year
often.
be good for you guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd like to have an idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
so we see your success rate.
Yeah, Wade is a good record keeper. Yes. He couldn't come this morning because this is Holy Week and he's really busy.
We'll
But
be enlarging that board too as we move along.
yes, we will be. More people will
We'll
come
get
along.
someone out of the Maxville area, for instance.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't have that.
Yeah,
We're represented up in the Radium area, and we're represented in Hudson and St. John. We're really weak in Stafford right now too, so we want to address that. But we want to broaden that board to where it's representative.
and he's talking about the meetings, the 12-step meetings and that. But our Grace Walk, right now we just have 3, but we will have a meeting and we'll see if we can recruit a few other people to be on the board,
Yeah.
Yeah. And one person won't be making decisions. We'll
Okay.
come together and make decisions.
I mean, I think boards are important.
Yes,
You get different points of view.
yes.
Well, I like the idea of a yearly distribution, but if I remember, I don't want to say any numbers because I don't remember correct, but we had a decent lump sum in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the girls to look.
And I wouldn't mind, to get them started, I wouldn't mind looking at giving, not the whole amount like he was saying, but a little bit of a lump sum to get them going and then establish it yearly. Because I feel that we've been collecting tax
Yeah.
on liquor and beer and then we don't use it. And I think it was state statute that enacted the tax, right? I mean, it wasn't anything we
Right.
all decided on, but at the end of the day, we're collecting it and I think we ought to.
So can I ask a question? If we get to where we are busy with it and we're helping lots of people can we come back and say, no, we're gonna run out before a year's up?
Yeah, you
Can
can
tell
always
you
come
that?
back,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, we could do it quarterly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A quarterly would probably be better. It'd be easier on budgeting. It's hard to
Yeah.
budget for
Well,
a year.
Keeps our nose to the grindstone. and all
yeah,
that, too.
yeah, and we'll keep track of it. What's
So
going
have you
on.
already purchased the UA kits?
No, I
That's
haven't.
in the plan.
No, it's in the
Yeah.
plan, yes. Yeah, I've just opened a bank account.
With zero balance.
With zero balance, I was gonna give her money and she says, oh, yeah, it's okay, we're supposed to, but we'll just wait. I said, okay.
Yeah.
So this is not in competition with AA or NA or
Not at all.
what's another one
In fact, it'll be in support of,
in support of?
yes.
Hello.
Because I was told one time they were trying to start up an NA,
Well, they have one in Stafford.
do they?
Yeah. We use at Methodist Church,
Mhm.
but, you know, I don't think out here, and anywhere else I know of in the county, do we have it.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're trying to fill a vacuum here.
Mhm.
But we want to work all the entities involved.
Mhm.
And I was at a conference Tuesday with ESDAC in Hutchinson, and a lady from Stafford said she wanted to start a group called Choices, because she doesn't go with the AA stuff, but she doesn't like this 12-step, that's what she said. And I said, well, that's fine, as long as you require abstinence, then we can consider you one of the groups that is seeing people weekly so that they can stay abstinent. So she's getting ready to start one, so that'll be good. And that's in Stafford, so they'll have 2 meetings like that.
You haven't found,
I think they're having trouble, so I'm gonna need to look that up.
Yeah, then that's fine, we can, once we figure out.
Yeah.
I think we kind of have a guideline what you'd like.
But yeah, I'm behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was behind it when we talked before, so.
Thank you,
If we'll
thank you.
Probably do it on quarterly deals.
Yep.
I think so.
And I have the count number and the
Okay,
bank number
great.
there.
And
Does anybody else need that? I ran
what
3
is
copies of
your
it.
contact number, Lena?
Oh, mine, 620-352-0032.
Okay. And I'm sorry I don't have that information.
That's okay.
today.
Sometimes we're at the mercy of our computers.
Oh, I am too, I understand.
So we should have an idea by next week.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go find that ticket when I get back over there.
So do we need to come here next week, or?
No.
Just, okay,
Yeah,
all right, I'll just let me
Just
know.
let Leanne
Okay,
know.
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, we'll let
Yeah.
you know.
That'll be great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
Did you,
Well,
Oh, you just made a
I
copy?
didn't, know. I made copies.
Okay,
I just wanted to
okay.
make sure that you saw that we had a tax,
Sure.
EIN number,
yeah,
and because we needed to have that. Okay.
All righty.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. How you doing today, Carol?
I make a motion that we approve the tax roll corrections.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
You have minutes?
Did you need to, I'm just not with it this morning at all. Did you need time with them?
Whenever we have time.
Okay.
We're gonna do Rob and Greg and Marshall.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, we're ready for it.
I make a motion that we go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel, including Marshall, Greg, the sheriff, and the county attorney, and Lisa, and the commissioners.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for executive session, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Yep.
Okay, well, the last time when I talked to you about the in-car cameras, how we needed updating or something, I quoted, we had a quote for 61,000. We had another quote come in since then, and it's from Customs, which is what our radars are, so it's a good, and it's $20,000 less.
Really?
So it's $41,000.
So will you be getting the body cameras and the car
Body cameras
cameras?
and in-car, in-dash cameras and stuff.
Okay.
It would both go already. Part of the deal savings is because they want to do it where it's automatically download, or you take the disc out and you go now and download it ours. We can download weekly if we need to. We'll just set up a regimen to download. It's cheaper that way. Plus, they wanted us to pay for cloud storage.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
No, I wouldn't
I
either.
mean, the first group is the one who doesn't want to do this, or the,
Yeah, it was through Axon and Stalker. They wanted to, and it was a 61. But the other is through Custom, which is what our radars are. And it was a good thing because Patrick hit me up about computer systems for the office.
Oh,
Yeah. I just replaced one, but he says they all need to be replaced really basically within the next year or so. And since I had 40,000 and I spending 60, our 5 more tough books and I can get them for 11,000. I got a little bit of a discount for ordering 5. If you have a problem with that, it'll all come out of my reserve fund since that's where I was gonna use it for anyway.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay, you're using your reserve fund for all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of,
is this because of Windows 11 is why they're wanting to?
yeah, it's
Somewhat
a
the
Windows
age.
version and everything else.
Yeah.
There's- Some of them are outdated and they can't be put in. Randy's system was more of a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
Prolonged.
and then with all these updates,
It's-
that we've got to have newer computers to be able to put all that stuff on them.
Yeah.
So, and we're getting the tough books, they're portable, they're strong, they'll take impacts and things like that, so.
Yeah. That works.
All right, then.
All right.
That's all I need to tell you.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay.
Mike, do you need to talk to us at some point? We got 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Attorney-client,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss attorney-client privilege for 10 minutes, including the commissioners, the attorney, and Lisa.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Sorry.
You and I are on.
Okay, I actually am here today with some rather good news. So we were able to apply for the CRAFT grant for the Stryker Lucas device. I think you signed actually for me to be able to apply. We were approved for another Stryker Lucas device. It's that chest compression automated device. So our local match is $3,968 and the Board of EMS will reimburse us $11,905.50. So I wanted you guys to, normally in a high-priced item like that, we don't get it a second time, so I was excited to see that. That one will actually go to Medic 3, it'll be Hudson's Medic Youth that will go on to.
Do you, you've used the one that we have now several times?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot.
Works
Oh, yeah.
good.
Works
Oh, yeah.
good, it's
Yeah.
worth doing, I
The
mean,
crews love it because it takes a lot of, that's for the fatigue a lot. With cardiac arrest, it's chest compressions and you have to switch compressors out every 5 to 10 minutes and this actually does it for you.
yeah.
They love it. So Stafford's got to use theirs a few times and so has St. John's, so
Okay.
well.
So we already have 2 in the county? This will be the
Yes,
third?
we have one in St. John, one in Stafford, and this one will go to Hudson.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we need a motion for that? Lisa, do you know?
I would say yes, go ahead and do that.
But I mean, you're just telling us that we got, that
Well,
we
we
got
have to,
accepted.
yeah, we have to do
You
the
have a
match
match
of
to go
Oh, okay.
with it.
$4
Yeah.
grand.
Mhm.
The whole deal's 15 grand, right?
Right.
And then they'll
see,
reimburse us
Yeah.
almost 12. So
Okay.
we gotta come up, or the
So
whole
we'll
deal's
pay-
almost 16 grand.
We'll pay for the 15,874,
So is that
but
what
we'll
we
be
need to-
reimbursed
Yes.
Okay.
this amount.
Jonathan Raised.
I make a motion that we allow Misty to purchase a Stryker device for the amount of $15,874.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Would you like to sign the form?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a good deal, because then your staff can be doing other things while you're not tying somebody up,
Oh, yeah.
doing compressions.
Like I said, it's a,
Do all the big cities are bigger, like around us, you know, Hutch, Great Bend, Pratt, do they all have those?
Oh, yeah, in every truck.
Yeah.
Every truck. The
Yeah.
only one that will lack is the secondary medic unit in St.
Yeah.
John Medic 1 is the last one that we'll need, and then everybody's got one.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
all right.
Alrighty, thanks,
Thank you,
Mr.
guys.
Have you ever had any interest of getting more people over at Maxville?
Oh, has anybody contacted us?
Yeah,
No.
okay.
But especially after that last EMT class, I was expecting, people that, no, nobody. So there's 2 firefighters that were interested, but then kind of backed out at the last minute. So we will hit them again once we're going to put on an EMT class, but yeah.
That's what I told him. I said, if you guys want an ambulance over there, you gotta get somebody to step up.
Yeah. So not lack of trying, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Mary.
Hey,
Hello.
Mary.
Is that what you wanted? Okay.
How we doing today?
Oh, good. Sorry I'm late.
Oh,
I
you're fine.
had a conference call with KDOR. Okay, I need to do my first quarter of 2020 report, saving paper here, double-sided. Okay, so as of March 31st, the balance in the funds was $11,197,952.95, which is $500 in our cash, which is always. Our CDs, there's $1,395,292.50. And then in the banks is $9,802,160.45. So that's all I got for that one. Okey-doke.
That'll work.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mary.
Mike was saying that we're down to 9 houses or properties.
Yes.
So do you think we'll have any more to redeem, or you think those are all gonna go to sale?
Well, I'm sure one will probably get redeemed because it's a farm ground.
Land.
Land.
Land seems to always get redeemed.
Yes, yeah. I don't know, I mean, knowing the family
Yeah.
of the person, I'm not sure if they'll be able to, I think they want to get it deeded over to them, to the other brother.
Yeah.
It was like 2 brothers. So, I don't know, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Thanks.
At our KDOT meeting,
Thank you.
what county was that was talking about they're getting like property taxes?
Barber, was that Barb? It was to come, so.
They were saying they were like 7 years back,
Oh, my.
and they were getting it cleaned up.
Yeah,
Wowzer.
so yeah, we're
That'd be
doing
a heck
good.
of a
I'm
sale,
glad we're
wouldn't
here.
it?
Thank goodness. It's a lot easier with not very many properties.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
That was Barber County,
Yeah, I think it was Barber.
yeah.
So Darren's coming at
Yeah, you
9:45.
wanna approve the minutes, and I have a couple things.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of April 6th.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Am I correct in understanding you no longer want to be a member of NACO? I have a dues notice.
We got scolded about that at the
Yeah.
KDOT
Oh,
deal.
What is that?
450?
I'm not educated one way or the other on whether it's worth it or not. I mean, you would know. You've been a commissioner
Well,
long enough.
I think
Hasn't NACO done anything for you?
I don't think they've done anything for us, but as far as the state goes, I think they have. You're gonna hear more about it in a couple more weeks, because there'll be some arm twisting. It is a lobby group, so $450 is not a bad price.
So do they lobby in the federal deal or?
Feds, it's
Really?
mainly Fed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it is the only voice of the counties on the federal level, I mean, 450 ain't bad, I don't know.
That one commissioner that was kind of working in conjunction with NACO, he seemed like a pretty sharp guy.
He's the guy from First
Yeah.
County, and
He's pretty sharp though, isn't he?
was it Malm, who was the NACO representative, he retired. And this, I don't forget his name now,
Yeah.
he took his spot, so he's the drum beater for NACO for the state of Kansas. And, you know, it looks like, I don't know if you've gotten emails or not, but from people from, you know, outside the state who's running for an office for NACO, you know, is wanting our support. I forget, there was one guy from North Carolina that was gonna be, wouldn't he run for vice president of NACO, and another one was, I don't know, do you get those emails?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get a
from
lot of
NACO.
NACO emails.
I usually don't open them.
Well,
Move to trash, move to trash.
but, I feel maybe we should. It's just, I mean, it's $450, it's a pretty cheap membership.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have said something, like if he wouldn't have made the case at the KDOT deal, I'd just as soon not do it, but him and our county, Kansas Association of Counties guy, KAC guy, wasn't that the KAC guy?
Yeah.
They both made the case
Yeah.
that we needed to.
I feel like it's important that we're represented,
Yeah,
to where if everybody dropped out, we wouldn't be represented.
And you know, and with redistricting, if it goes through, we're gonna have less and less voice
yeah.
at the state as well as the federal level, so.
So we need a motion for that. I make a motion that we join NACO for 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and pay our NACO dues. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
You see, that wasn't a very enthusiastic motion, but it was a motion.
Okay,
Kind of like paying your taxes.
Yeah, I guess.
Or
Well-
your car insurance or something.
we were having some real issues with the cameras, like it was kind of spotty for a while and then it got to where it was happening all the time and it was like all of them would be down. So GBT has come down and given a very comprehensive quote for absolutely everything. So hold on to your shorts when you look at these. But I can schedule him to come down and meet with you guys and he can go over this, explain it all, and then we can pick and choose, you know, what you feel like we absolutely do or don't need and go from there.
These are security cameras?
Yes,
It's like cameras go to pot all of a sudden.
yeah.
Sheriff and here and.
Yeah, I remember being disappointed in our camera system at one time. There's one on the corner of this building and I think a neighbor to the east got broke into and we couldn't
Yeah.
see, it was too blurry.
Yeah.
and Couldn't see, and it's like, my deal is if you're gonna have cameras, at least make sure they're nice enough
Right.
to.
And
I'm
I
not-
think we were
Yeah, I'd
trying
for
to
sure
go
want to
the-
talk to him before we made a decision and maybe get another quote, cause there's, but,
Yeah,
um,
that seems like a lot of money for just cameras.
Yes, but like I said, I think
Yeah.
that's the
I'm-
platinum package that includes absolutely everything they can
I'm
do.
not shocked by that at all. I was thinking 50 grand,
Really?
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculously expensive.
For something that might, probably in 3 years, we're gonna have to replace it again.
To
And
me-
then if
Well,
something
to me,
happens, we'll be looking at it
yeah.
going, I can't tell those person's
Yeah,
name.
to me, your insurance company should give you a rebate. You know, if you have a certain amount of cameras, like, you know, some companies will give you a rebate if you have a full bumper replacement on your pickup or something.
Yeah.
Same way with cameras, if you're, you know, investing in protecting your property, they ought to give you
Yeah.
a kickback of some sort, but I don't think anybody does.
You know, those super duper cameras that Mundan came and talked to us about, they've got one up at the sewage station and radio station, and then the box is inside, and there's actually a little screen. And I had one of the other firefighters at Radium stand at the door, and the cameras are about from here to that corner away. Stand at the door, look at the camera, and I was looking at the screen, you couldn't get a visual identification on him.
I wonder if the actual footage you could though.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's just the screen, but I wasn't impressed at all with.
'Cause
I
you
mean,
know-
basically you could say, yeah, somebody went in there 2:20,
Yeah.
but we have no idea who it was.
I've been in that situation where you've been robbed and you're reviewing the footage and you're like, man, I wish I could read that tag number. I wish I could tell exactly who
Yeah,
that was. And it's the difference between a nice camera and a,
yeah. And basically any criminal anymore knows that if you put on a hoodie and a headlamp, that they can't see your face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do we still have a camera down at the, where Ryan used to be?
Shouldn't. I don't think there's electricity
Yeah,
down
I
there.
don't think so.
Out at Sandyland?
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Surely not. He's been up here for 7 or 8 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, but he still had some stuff he was storing down there.
I'll
I
ask
thought
him.
Randy put one down there.
Yeah, I'll ask him about it.
I don't think there's any electricity out there.
Yeah, because all that was shut off.
So they're talking 7 cameras?
That's the annex and then one's for the courthouse.
So where are the cameras in the courthouse?
We've got them outside, covering all entrances. We don't have any in offices or hallways, but mainly the access in and out of the building.
Are
And
we
then-
recessed?
The back
Pardon?
of the
Are
building.
we recessed?
No, we'll recess.
Need to schedule him to come down and talk to you guys, or what do you want to do?
I think we ought to get some other,
We'll get another bid or two.
Okay,
Yeah.
see if there's anybody other than those two. I mean, is there another individual?
Well, I'd like to see about, you know, like when you're at Walmart and you look up at your screen, it's really fuzzy, you know, when they're filming you, or at a store.
Yeah,
But I think the actual footage on the DVR might be a lot clearer.
yeah.
We may wanna check that,
Or do we need to
you
have
know,
London's?
playback.
Yeah, do we need to have London's group come in? I mean, that's another deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So,
But they're gonna be expensive too. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be
big
expensive.
expensive.
It's just, I want the best bang for your buck. If you're gonna do it, you need to try and
Okay, who do you want me to call? Do you guys have any preferences?
I don't know, I
Somebody
guess,
Do you
yeah,
want to think about it?
yeah, let's think about it. I'll
Okay.
do some checking around.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, the two that I'd worked with from Red Band, I wasn't impressed with, but.
Okay, well then I'll wait. and-
What about ADT? Are they worth anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
what'd you
used-
lose, Darren?
My fancy pen.
Yeah,
Take my pen, Kurt?
there it is. What was it?
You have 40 grand?
Okay, write something down.
Yeah. I don't need that many.
Well, you got 41,000 to the sheriff.
Pardon?
Yeah, 41,000.
Yeah, but that's a liability deal. We
Yeah.
have to have those for our cop cars and our
Yeah.
police officers.
Yeah.
Maybe we just hire somebody to sit around at night with an Instamatic and a flash bulb.
Probably do a better job.
Show cameras.
There you go, there you go. So what'd you find out for us, Darren?
I've been talking to my permit manager and my hydro manager and a little bit with Terracon. Regulation still stands at any new cells have to be 5 foot above groundwater. Permit managers had said that, I told them we was looking at some different properties. And permit manager and the hydro manager is the person that keeps track of your stormwater controls and the standing water and all that razzmatazz. They both said that they would avoid any properties that's got creeks, rivers, ponds, shallow water. And they said they would, whatever possible properties we come up with, you could email an aerial photo or something of it to Cindy, then I can send it on to them, they look over it and that kind of deal. They give it a quick look over and give us their opinion on it, which I found, it's dealing with the states a little, on certain things, if you go through KDHE, it's kind of cost-free versus going through a consultant like Terracon.
Mm-hmm.
And what, Terracon, sometimes they come up with lots of things they think you ought to be doing, which costs you money, but I found out it's a little easier to tell the state, hey, Terracon says let's do this. Like capping them old wells I had out there. It wasn't that big expense, but still, my permit manager said, well, really, you didn't need to cap them. I filled them with midnight and rope piling off and covered them up. But They said, well, they really didn't need to do that, it wouldn't be expense, but I found it's better if consultant says, well, you need to do this, call state,
Yeah,
as to whether it really needs done, or it's required, so just save you some money there, but, they said with, COVID and all that, you know, permitting, if we have to move to a new site, permitting is, you're looking a year to year and a half out. So, and where I'm at on my pit right now, if it stays currently like it is, probably got 2 years. If it slows down, it could be 5, you know. But that's pretty well weather dependent too, you know. I mean, hailstorm, tornado, whatever, will fill it pretty fast. As far as the above grade storage, they allow 10% of your permit volume, which I asked her, I said, well, what is my permit volume? Is that on the cell I'm in? She's supposed to call me back today and get with me on. Terracon told me, said, well, it could be anywhere from your permit volume of, if it's the current cell you're in, you're looking 4 to 6 feet. That's about a year
yeah,
on top of one cell, but we do have 3 of them. But I've got enough dirt out there probably to run a year. I imagine if we had to go above grade.
yeah. I'm not in favor of
Yeah,
that, but
I just assume.
if we can,
Get a lot
yeah,
of-
If we had an emergency, a tornado this summer and we got filled up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Then, they said also the cost of permitting, they said, you know, when you go looking for a place, they said the cost for permitting 5 acres is the same as it is to permit 30 acres. So if you have to go through the permitting process, you know, try to stick with 20 acres or so and
Mhm.
get the best bang for your buck.
yeah.
Then, let's see what else we got here. I was wanting to kind of touch base with you guys on the recycle program. I've been having kind of poor service out of Sunflowers. Since they changed managers there, they went to this Sean fella. It's been hit and miss. I mean, I can stay within operating with them, but if it wasn't for having reserve stuff where I have to have Philip take a trailer in once or twice a year where I get 40-some boxes back, they eventually do absorb them. Just like yesterday, he called, you know, I sent him a text, hey, I got 24 full boxes and 0 empties. That's not counting my reserves. I kind of keep them hid. You set them out where they can see them, well, he's gonna leave me. But what I've been doing is keeping track of a week they miss, and I've been in contact with City of Stafford, because if they miss me, they miss Stafford. You know, and that's, you know, that's about $25, $30 a trip of what we're paying, but it's gonna, you know, eventually it'll add up. And they don't realize, you know, when they miss a week and they don't bring me 8 boxes, well, that's 8 to 10 more sitting there full, and 8 to 10 more I gotta take out of my reserves. And eventually I run out of them.
Yeah.
You know. But what I was wanting, you know, I mean, I've been having Cindy keep track of weeks that they missed, and I call City of Stafford when they miss me and see if they miss them. Well, I'm, you know, maybe deducting for a service you're not getting. Maybe that'll kind of give them a little bit of a boost too.
So by April 20th, do you think, or do you have those figures now, or they're coming April 20th to go over their budget? I guess we'd like some concrete numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
And then,
when we went with them, you know, I took what it cost, and it cost me, when I was going with Philip, $175 a month. At the end of the year, he would give me a bill for taking recycles to Hutch, which going to Hutch is great. They're actually a single stream recycler. When I get in at an evening, if the boxes are all a mess, that's fine, single stream. But with them, you know, being sorted, and, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta go in and sort that stuff. And I've never recycled this single stream, even when we were going to Hutch, because people were used to kind of trying to keep it sorted. No need to try and change something that's working. But when I take them, you know, and it's normally once a month I can fill my trailer will hold 40 boxes.
Mhm.
And, you know, where they're coming and getting it, that's great, but they just need to keep up,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't mind supporting Sunflower, I think what they're doing is a good deal, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, we're giving them, I don't remember, it's quite a bit per year.
Well, and
They just
also,
upped them.
you know, for,
300 and some a month, wasn't it?
yeah,
But the manager they had before, the one they have now, you didn't have problems with, right?
no. And the
So it's
driver,
basically this new manager, new driver?
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, you know, and sometimes he'll not show up and not even call.
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's not a good deal.
I mean, you owe it to somebody, if you ain't gonna show up, call and let him know. You know, he told me he'd be there yesterday, no show. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'll eventually show up, but it's gonna, if he wants to get caught up, I mean, I could have filled that trailer a while back when there was 32 boxes sitting there. I could
Yeah.
almost filled it, you know, to get them
But
caught
when
up.
we're paying him his service, it isn't, he shows up when it's convenient for him.
Yeah. And
And I think
Dina, I
that's
talked
what
to
he's
her
got
over at
to
City, and, you know, she says they'll have several full boxes, but they'll only take 2 or 3 full ones. What they're doing is they're trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which I can see that, you know, coming up here, you just will hit both places, but, normally they got a truck broke down, their bigger truck broke down, and they're trying to just get the very minimum they can so they can, I mean, they'll only take 3 or 4 of my full boxes, so they'll leave room so they can pick up a couple of Stafford, you know.
Yeah.
So then it's 175 per community,
Yes. 175.
per month.
Yes.
I'm certain when John's down here, I'm certain he'll get things resolved.
Yeah. Is, John's retiring though, isn't he?
You
I
know,
don't know.
he's getting ready to leave.
Is that why,
Well, it's
That's why
Shelley?
he's bringing Shelby.
Shelley.
Yes,
Is she the replacement?
I think so.
Okay.
Would it be a problem if we
You know,
just-
used to, they had an old fellow, his name was George, he was a really good guy. And there was times when they first started, heck, if they could get all their load except for 4 boxes, they'd make a second trip, come back and get 4 boxes, just to get you emptied. You know, and they're not quite that way anymore, and they used to show up early in the morning, I would run a forklift, and it just went really smooth. The way they do it now, they've got a fella comes in there at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, sometimes they're still there at quitting time. They bring 1 guy, 1 truck, and I don't particularly like them running the forklift, but I ain't there.
Yeah.
You know, Philip don't like it either. Philip owns part of that forklift, him and I split the cost of that when we bought it. And I have called up there and told them, I said, hey, if you guys are running that forklift, if somebody comes in to recycle, you need to have them leave and come back, because you don't know if they back into somebody or somebody's vehicle. He backed into one of my poles and broke it the other day, the little pole that guards the door. It was already broke, I think, hood bounced off of it enough times, it was kind of, a little odd, he just finished it off, but,
Yeah.
you know, used to, when they'd show up, they'd get there by 8:30, sometimes 9, 20-minute job. Load them up, unload them, and the way they do it now, 1 guy comes in, he goes and picks up a box, sets it on his little tonneau lid, brings it up, and he climbs in the truck and uses a dolly. Takes quite a while. Cindy says they're there sometimes 2 or 3 hours. The job could only take about 20 minutes.
So if they'd get you a scheduled appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning, it'd probably save them a couple hours?
Yeah. And they'd have, myself on the forklift or
Yeah.
Yeah, just from a liability standpoint, we don't need an outside contractor running our equipment on our land.
Yeah, where you have the public going in and out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Now Maxfield does
Good
single
thing Mike
screen.
didn't hear that.
Yeah, and I think that's good.
And that goes,
And I was wanting to mention, too, the next week is cleanup week. I've already had Maxfield, they called, wanted to know, because normally I have it first week of April, but school called this year, wanted to know if I'd schedule it later, because they had a cleanup where they go and help the elderly and people that doesn't have pickups to get stuff out on the curb, and I told them, well, it's gotta be out a week ahead, so yeah, I'll just schedule it later, so it's 18th to the 25th, so,
May,
no, April.
April.
Yes.
Oh,
So it'll be,
Coming up.
it's starting next week. And Maxville, Nosley takes care of them pretty well over there. I told them, I said, hey guys, whenever you wanna have it, you just have it. So they had theirs first week of April. 3 loads and
Yeah.
they hauled 3 loads and boom, their city was done. So I let them have it, later on, so, and Stafford didn't do it anymore, so. I mean, we do get some citizens stuff from Stafford or anything, but
They don't
I know
feel
they got
they,
it.
as a city sitting out there.
they don't feel like they need to do it then?
Well, they provide that dumpster and everything there,
Well, they put a roll-off down
Well,
there.
believe me, they bring plenty of houses. This has been the busiest year I've had out there in 20-some years.
Really?
Yeah, it's, you know, between the elevators, I've taken a big elevator in Maxville, the larger one here in St. John. It was an 80, 100-foot tall one that coming out. They just tore one in Stafford down, south of the railroad tracks. They took that one down, there's been house after house after house. That loader had 160 hours when I got it, and now I'm at 670. It's been kind of non-stop about every day.
Really?
It's been busy, yeah.
So back when you guys used to haul the recycling to Hutch and Phil's guys would haul it up there for you, would he charge you for them hauling that?
Yes.
So like on,
It was an annual fee, and I just took it and divided it by 12 and figured $175 a month. That's how I come up with that.
when the road department picks up tires and stuff on the side of the road and brings it out the landfill, do you charge them for disposal fee?
No. Then they bring me their grader tires, loader tires.
If you take your loader down there and getting it serviced down there, does Phil charge you for that?
Not for use of the building, no.
Okay.
Do
you feel like
I feel that county entity's county entity,
Yeah,
you know? And he charges me when they mow out there. I have to mow that once a year. They bring the trifold out and mow it, and I get charged for it. And
I mean, I would think that if the department, if one department's charging another department, then it should be the same way, to where you just have to pay for the grader tires. Because you have to pay to get rid of those grader tires, don't you?
yes,
So him bringing grader tires or loader tires or truck tires out there is eating into your budget. But then when they mow and stuff out there, they charge you.
mhm. Well, I don't see it's quite right, but
I don't know.
one county entities,
Yeah,
I think, you know, you scratch my back, or I'll scratch yours, you know. I mean, I do use the building down there when I take my loader in there or something, but,
yeah. Okay. That might be something we need to think about.
Yeah.
Talk about. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's fair where they charge you and then you don't charge them to get rid of the tires. And it's probably not that big of a deal. I mean, it's probably not that much money, but it's
You know,
just the
and
principle of it.
and I take, you know, bridge materials, when I tear out an old wood bridge and a lot of wood material, and they took the building, tore the building down, I took all that, and
Yeah.
whenever they clean ditches, I get that, and
Do you got anything else for us?
no, that's it for now. When I find out, my permit manager's supposed to call me today, and we'll go over a little more in depth on any any regulations or anything to get started. I don't think there's anything. I think really though, probably ought to be looking at something
Yeah, we are.
where it's a year to year and a half out, and also, you know, I mean, if you have to move to another location, there's, you know, a shed for the loader has to be constructed, and a little shack to hide in.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd like to do about 10 minutes of excessive possession with Darren as far as property allocation type deal.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do 15.
We'll do 15 minutes of executive session, or I make a motion that we do 15 minutes for executive session, and then we'll adjourn afterwards.
Yep.
With commissioners, Darren, Mike. and Lisa.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, Carol.